I'm Don Mecoy. I'm a business news reporter with the Oklahoman. I'm joined here today by Keith Geary. Keith's the CEO of Capital West Securities here in Oklahoma City, one of the investment guys that's really smart that we like to talk to. Keith's here to talk. I thought we'd talk about ETFs a little bit today, exchange-traded funds. Explain to us exactly what an exchange-traded fund is and what are some of the advantages of owning such a thing.
Sure. Well, an exchange-traded fund is a little bit different. It's a basket of stocks, usually in a specific market segment. So there are ETFs for just, say, the energy market, ETFs for auto industry. You could just about name anything in any segment of the market, and there's an ETF for it. And what they've found over the past year, investors are becoming a bit more savvy. They want to know what they own. They've seen some of their other holdings decline quite a bit. So people have been taking money out of those and coming into ETFs where they can feel as if they know a little bit more about what it is they actually own. And they've started to perform fairly well, so they've been getting a lot of investor attention. Also, they have lower fees and they're a little bit more tax efficient. So not a bad choice for investors at all.
Well, and Capital West is planning to launch its own exchange-traded fund. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, sure. Capital West is actually an entity under the Geary Companies. The Geary Companies has an entity called OOK Advisors. OOK Advisors filed for OOK ETF, an exchange-traded fund that's just Oklahoma's publicly traded companies. And as we got ready to file for it, we were excited to see what a great history all these companies in Oklahoma have had. So compared to, say, other indexes, we were able to see that a basket of Oklahoma stocks would theoretically do much better. And, of course, past performance doesn't predict the future, but we feel pretty certain based on what we know that once we get started, we'll see some good performance.
Nice job of getting the disclaimer in there.
Of course.
Now another Oklahoma investment that you guys have do a lot with are municipal bonds. Tell us some of the advantages that investors can find with that kind of an investment.
Well, sure. We're thankful to have a diverse group of customers at Capital West, and nearly all of them are interested in Oklahoma municipals. And I understand why, because they have nice tax equivalent yields. When investors look at what the tax-free coupon is and then equate it to their personal tax rate, it's a much better yield. So with the talk about the tax rates might be rising, we've had quite a bit of interest lately because that tax-free income will become more valuable. And we always have this season of time here in the spring in Oklahoma when a lot of school districts are bringing municipal bonds to the market to buy buses, to build additional classrooms, and so forth. And of course, we don't have any history of any failure or issues with school bonds, because if a school district is having financial troubles, they eventually get consolidated, and whoever acquires them assumes their liabilities. And it really, as I look at it over time, some of the best returning portfolios are the ones that include municipals as a part of their portfolio for that reason, obtaining tax-free income.
Okay. Well, now let's look at the market kind of in a broad way here. Market hadn't quite closed yet today, but it looks like we're building to our third consecutive gain in the Dow. Does it look like this might be the bottom that we've been waiting for so long?
I think we are within 10% of the bottom. I thought when we hit about 7,000 a few days ago, a week or so ago, and went below that, I thought this has got to be the floor. And really, I was thinking of looking closely at a lot of the companies and realizing there's so much intrinsic value in them, how their balance sheets are put together, really solid assets. I think all stocks came down unjustly, and I think now we're going to see a rebound, and I'm pleased to see a third day in a row of gains. I think the wise investors have figured out this is the time to kind of get back in. So we're encouraging several customers who've called in and asked that there are certain segments, certain stocks that they really ought to look at and might consider adding at these levels, and hopefully we will see it continue on its way back up.
Maybe we should take a little fear out of our portfolio and put in a little greed, right?
I think so. I think in a couple of years we'll look back and wonder why we didn't buy more. But I felt as if the recession was coming, back a year ago in December, and it kind of came and got the rest of the nation. Really hasn't been as big a bite on Oklahoma. I think as an Oklahoma investor, you can sit back and feel pretty good if you were with your portfolio in the Oklahoma companies. And now's the time to really take advantage of how they've all come down with the market and maybe get back in and we'll see how those go in the future.
Okay. Well, thanks for the advice and the information. I'm sure that the folks at Capital West Securities would be glad to help you if you had any questions about those things. And we obviously have a lot more coverage in the Oklahoman here on News OK about the economy and investing. Thanks for joining us.
Let's see it.